What's going on, everyone? Thanks for tuning in today on the Closing Bell with Mr. Stacks. It's about 2:07 p.m. July 19th, 2021, and yeah, we're just gonna catch up on what we discussed this morning. You know how we do about this time. We have 4 stocks that we talked about on this morning's hype session. Yeah, they kind of seen a lot of movement on a few of these here. Some of them maybe not necessarily in a positive way, but we'll go ahead and catch up on here on what's been going on throughout the day. Off the back, we had XELA Technologies. For those of y'all that are new to the channel, XELA Technologies, this is something we've been following for the last couple of weeks. A lot of play in this stock here. Been a lot of opportunity to make some money on the up and down side. Me myself, I'm just a buyer, so I try to catch it on the way up. We have come down since an all-time high we've seen a few days back last week, and we kind of been floating around that $3 mark here for the last few days. But as you can see, looking at the daily, we're about $3 here. There's a little support level, and we're kind of just been floating around the VWAP on the 5-minute. And we've tested it a few times, and we kind of just had a fake breakout, you know, earlier this morning, and then again about an hour or so ago. But I'm still confident that this stock can move up. I haven't forgot about it yet. Still one of my main stocks on the watch list. Still have a good amount of shares invested in this stock here, so we're still holding our position, and we're still hoping to see an upside here pretty soon. Really not much to go over today. As far as the history behind this stock, you can check on some of my previous videos as far as what we've talked about when we got on to some of these lower levels, and pretty much how we've been riding it out since. But for right now, yeah, today there hasn't really been much to talk about on this stock. Kind of been a little stagnant here, but we're still hoping to see some movement here pretty soon. Volume about 50% of its daily average, so really not a lot of volume coming in today. So this is the reason why we haven't really moved much from this range here around the $3 mark. But we're gonna go ahead and check this again in the morning. Hopefully we'll see a pickup in volume, maybe some more interest draw back into this stock, and maybe we can start to see these higher levels again. OXBR, this is one we talked about this morning. Seen a lot of volume coming in. You know, I was confident we might be able to see more of an upside on this stock, but we ended up selling off today, which I'm sure y'all hold me to that, as I said in the morning video. But yeah, you can't always be for sure on which direction these go. It's always best to plan your trades on when you're gonna buy in and sell off if you need to. But the daily chart here, you can see we're at 353. Kind of coming back down, testing that support level again that we've seen on Friday, where we closed at, or kind of where we hit a high and closed. But yeah, we ended up pushing back down to the low side, but we're still hitting a support level here, as you can see on the 200-day, and it's kind of where we've been sitting here for the last couple hours, more or less. But yeah, we're back on the low end. Another key level to buy in on this stock. They had a SPAC deal, I believe, or an acquisition that was just published today, and that caused a lot of volume to come in, but I'm not real familiar on how that draws the interest to these stocks. And like I said, it may have been just a pop and drop, but that's kind of what happened. But I was hoping to see it move a little higher, but as you can see, we did have a lot of resistance here around the 450 mark, and we ended up seeing a sell-off here, pushing it back down to the lower level. So we'll have to keep an eye on this one. I don't think it's over yet for this stock, but for today, yeah, we didn't see any gains on this one. So hopefully nobody lost too much money if you did jump in this trade. Just try to plan wisely, as I say, before you do try to jump on some of these stocks we mentioned on these momentum trades. Another one we talked about here, we've been following for about a week, Air Test Systems, AEHR. Yeah, this one had a nice jump today. It's kind of still running here. I'm not sure if those of y'all watching the video, if you may have seen this one moving today, if you've been interested, you got on board or not. We did call it this morning right after the pop, or as it started to pop off. There was a catalyst published on this one, I believe, also early this morning. Yeah, so it's a burn-in of silicon carbide power for electric vehicles, some type of deal. They got a $1 million deal, $10 million deal, or yeah, $10.8 million order. So yeah, I started driving up volume, drove up the price. We tested, a level this morning around 470, 480. This is what we talked about in the morning hype session. As you want to check those videos out, you can see as far as what we called it. As soon as the market opened, we popped up a little bit, but ended up coming down, testing on the 7-day average, moving average here. But then we just took off again, and we started hitting even higher highs. And right now we've started to move sideways from the all-time high today, but it looks like we may continue to move a little bit higher as long as the volume continues to come in and the momentum continues to build. Going back into the daily, as you can see, we've already broke through certain levels and we're starting to gap up here pretty good. I called this one last week, when we were down here, that I felt this was going to continue to move up here, and it gapped up over the weekend, and we're starting to see higher highs today, y'all. So for those of y'all that were able to get onto this trade, you're probably up a good amount of money, and you could have pretty much about doubled it if you got on at the time we mentioned it last week. I don't want to say I call all these shots, but I do try to do an analysis as to how I feel these stocks are going to move, even though the day we might not see the full pop in some of these stocks on the price action. But I always try to hold them for at least a week or so, because that volume can trend for a few days, and that's kind of what happened with this stock here. The volume continued to come in and it build up again, and it caused it to snap right back to these higher highs. But yeah, that was a good one here. This one still may have some ways to move. Going off that deal, I'm not sure how that can cause the price to move up, how high we can get anyways, but that's some good news on that stock there. NRX Pharmaceuticals, here's another one we called this morning. We've seen this one jump up like double pretty much at the morning. I believe it was like 6 a.m. when they published the article. But as you can see, we're at a low this morning of $8, and we doubled up in that 1 hour here, just boom. Or that 30 minutes anyways, just jumped. A $17 high today. We've come back down, testing level about $11, $12, so we jumped back up again, and we're testing the 7-day moving average again here. I really feel it's gonna pop back up. We're still trending up here. We're still seeing lower lows, or higher lows, I'm sorry. We're seeing higher lows here, as you can see, so we haven't come back down and tested these levels to where we're still seeing an upward trend, as you can see. So looking at the 5-minute, testing the VWAP, this one's still a little more pricier than I like to trade. For those that were able to get on around $8, between 8 and 10, that's usually the range I like to play. Every now and again I might jump on some of these, but a lot of volume, y'all. 21,000 over its daily average. We're at 61 million shares compared to an average of 291,000. So that's crazy volume coming in, and it looks like we're about to squeeze up again here and test these highs, hopefully. But I really feel like we can break this $17. We are seeing resistance here between $6.17 and $16. But if this continues, though, we may continue to move up and break these numbers here. Another stock I wanted to catch up today is one that I actually called in a video yesterday I published for a short squeeze. This is support.com. I'm not sure if y'all are familiar with that stock, but I ended up jumping on a position here also, and I kind of just wanted to preview the chart here. Let me just type it in. But yeah, this one I feel is gonna maybe squeeze up soon, y'all. As you've seen on the thumbnail post, that the chart I'm using is showing some consolidation. We're still trending up. We're seeing a lot more volume come in above our daily average, even though we're not in the green yet. Like you see some of these are where we see the momentum at. We haven't quite got there yet for this stock, but this is a good indication that we may continue to move up. And if we can get into the green here on the stock and volume, we'll start to squeeze. I mentioned yesterday in the video the short interest in this stock, I believe, was close to 30%. I want to say it was maybe around 24 to 28%, something like that. I can't really remember because there was a couple we went over, but there's a very high short interest in this stock here. I really feel like this company is it's a technology company. It deals with cloud-based software and things like that, cybersecurity, I think, and some other things it's doing as far as like application technology and things like that. But I really think this has a future here for this stock. I just really think that there's a lot of people hoping that this company fails, and that's the reason why I feel a lot of them are taking a short position, just maybe thinking that they're not gonna succeed at what they're doing compared to the competition. But who knows, this can cause this price to move up, and all it takes is one of these articles to really draw this price out and push it, double or even triple. Who knows how high these things can go, but they tend to squeeze, and that's all it takes. I'm showing a high here the last couple of days of 569, but we're also showing a 945 back in March. We hit about a $10 range there, our price. Yep. So here's the weekly if you look at it. And I have this trend line set for a certain threshold that I'm monitoring for when it comes to our consolidation triangle here. But as you can see, even on the weekly, we're starting to show like we're building momentum and we're consolidating week to week. And looking at the day chart, we're doing the same thing. We're just kind of spread out a little more. Hit that bottom, came back up. We're testing higher highs, higher lows. And yeah, we're starting to consolidate here, and we're testing these levels, and hopefully we can break out here in the next couple of days is how it's looking. I mean, the volume's starting to come in. We got high short interest in this stock. I think this is a key level to buy in. We're on a low end here, following back on the trend line. There's a line of support right here, y'all. So we're a little bit above, but we're testing the moving averages. And when y'all know how I play these moving averages. When we see this, as soon as these moving averages start to consolidate, this is when we tend to see a squeeze. We started to push up this morning, but we're still seeing a lot of pressure, downward pressure here. But as we start to consolidate more and more moving forward here throughout the week, I don't know, we may be able to see it, y'all. It looks like it's coming in real close here. Just going off of the technical analysis of this chart is just how it looks to me. I mean, let me know what y'all think. Leave some comments, y'all's thoughts on this. Also, is this something y'all feel like y'all are willing to trade? I don't know how y'all feel about jumping on some of these short squeeze opportunities. But it's not just the stock itself. I really think the stock has potential maybe in what they're doing. I'm not real familiar as to how their debt and their balance sheet and all that looks, but as far as their company itself and the technology space that they're in, I really think that they have some things that they can provide or bring to the table that maybe some of their competitors can't. But I'm gonna maybe dig into this a little more if we start to see a breakout here, and if we can get a little higher, closer to $5 or even closer to this high of $10 here, I think I'll be able to I'll be more interested in wanting to figure out some more of that information here that I can provide for y'all. But right now it's more of just a momentum play. I really don't care about the numbers right now. We're testing levels. We're looking to break out through these levels here, y'all. So that's kind of what we're waiting for as we consolidate here. But support.com, let me know y'all's thoughts. Leave some comments below. Appreciate any feedback y'all can provide. Anything else y'all want to see or want to cover, also please mention that there, and we can try to touch base on that and see exactly what we're seeing on the chart, and as far as my opinion on the price action and movement on the stocks y'all mentioned. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today's session of Closing Bell. Appreciate everybody tuning in today, and we'll catch up with y'all in the morning on the morning hype session. Peace out.